Are we on the left?
I can.
I'd like to call this regular town council meeting to order, please. Can I have a roll call?
Counselor Bragdon,
Present on Zoom.
thank you. Counselor Danforth? Here. Chair Dumais,
Here.
Counselor Gottlieb,
He's here.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Here, can you hear me? Hear me? There we go.
Thank you. Counselor Higgins,
Here.
Counselor Madore,
Here.
Counselor Pelletier.
Here. Thank you, everybody. Please uncover and recite the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Manager. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
We do not.
Thank you. Call for the approval of the minutes for December 13th, 2020. So motion made by Council Pelletier,
Second.
second by Council Danforth. Any council discussion? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, back to the council. Can I have a roll call vote, please? Councilor Gully,
Aye.
Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Higgins,
Aye.
Council Danforth,
Aye.
Chair Dumais is an aye. Council Madore.
Aye.
Council Pelletier.
Aye.
Unanimous. 7-0. Special presentation. We have resolved number 8, 2022, a proclamation honoring Laura Sanborn. Council Madore, would you please read?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolve number 8 2022, proclamation honoring Laura Sanborn in recognition of her many years of service to the Penobscot County. Whereas we, the Town Council of Millinocket, wish to extend our thanks and appreciation to Commissioner Laura Sanborn for her many years of dedicated service to the citizens of Penobscot County. And whereas Laura has worked to help the communities in her district receive support and funding necessary for the vitality of our communities. And whereas we, the Town Council of Millinocket, extend our best wishes of Millinocket to Commissioner Sanborn and our thanks for her service. Now therefore be it resolved that the Millinocket Town Council in council assembled on December 22nd, 2022, does hereby recognize, honor, congratulate Laura Sanborn on her dedicated service to the people of Millinocket and Penobscot County during her term as County Commissioner.
Second.
Motion made by Council Madore, seconded by Council Danforth. Council discussion. Council Madore, would you like to speak to the order, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would. Laura Sanborn is a unique individual. She is, I think the term dedicated is not really strong enough word. She has been a valuable resource for communities and citizens in both the towns and unorganized territory of Penobscot County. Her leadership has made it so that I believe that under her, Penobscot County has prospered. They have done well with their budget coming forward. She has faced a lot of trials and tribulations and always managed to do an excellent job in keeping not only herself, but Penobscot County on an even keel and moving forward. People like her don't come along very often in the state of Maine, and I think that Laura is by far one of the genuinely nicest, sweetest, most dedicated, and hardworking individuals that I have had my honor of meeting over the years of being in public service. And I wish her well. I'm sorry that she's not going to be there, but certainly I don't think any of us have seen the last of Laura Sanborn. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Council Madore. Council discussion. Council Danforth.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too have had the pleasure of meeting Laura Sanborn in the last couple of years. She's provided great support for us for the hospital and helped us receive some funding, and she's a tremendous resource. She appointed me to a board for Penquist, and she is as you had mentioned, Councilor Madore, she's touched many lives, done a lot for the county. She will be missed. I don't think she's going away. Any of the email correspondence I've had with her, she's still going to be around and still going to be helping. And I really appreciate that we're doing this on her behalf. She will be missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Van Born. Any council via Zoom? Thank you. Public discussion? Seeing none, back to the councils. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've also had the pleasure of working very closely with Commissioner Sanborn over the past several years in various capacities. And I think like Councilor Madore had wrapped it up really nicely. She will be, as she did have a very positive impact. And I do have a mountain's worth of respect for her. The comment was made about we probably haven't seen the last of Laura Sanborn, but it's really a package deal. Her husband Harry has been there right alongside the entire time, and I don't know how many times over the past several years when I had meetings with Laura in the area, her husband was here and taking part in the discussions and trying to help move things forward and be really playing a good role. So I'd also like to offer that thank you to Gary as well.
Yes, I agree.
Any other public discussion? Back to the council. I'm just gonna say a few words. I've only met her probably twice, right before the elections. And I thought she was very pleasurable to meet with and talk with, very respectful. Shame I didn't get a chance to work with her at all, like some of my colleagues up here, but I can't take credit really for this resolve. I was contacted by the current commissioner, David Marshall, and they're having a function for the prior commissioners. And this will be presented to her down in Bangor by Andre Cushing. And so after this is all signed and sealed, it's ready to deliver. I believe the plan is for Charlie Frey, former councilor, will be delivering it down there for her to be presented. Apparently the function is all the communities, or a bunch of the communities that she represented, are going to be honoring her in this way. So I was honored that he asked us to do this, and I'll go to a vote with that. So Councilor Goldie,
Aye.
Councilor Bragdon,
Aye.
Councilor Higgins,
Aye.
Councilor Van Dorn,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Councilor Pelletier,
Aye.
Chair Dumais is an aye, passes unanimous. Now moving to the manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm keeping it down to updates from our various departments this evening. It's not been much to discuss and change since my previous two reports that were spaced just one link apart. So within the public works crew, there's been quite a bit of work in preparation for the winter snow plowing. They've also been going around doing some tree trimming to alleviate any or prevent any damage to the trucks along plow routes. The brush pile at the transfer site has been ground and should be hauled away very soon. Working through the scrap pile, we have a company that has started hauling that away. And they have also fabricated a ramp to allow access to a storage container that was purchased at the port the COVID shutdown of the recycling center. So they'll be able to use that as a storage facility for the recycled materials until they are shipped. Going to use that as an opportunity to pitch the recycling facility that is now open. I hope that the word continues to spread about that and that we continue to see less and less cardboard being put into the hopper and more cardboard being put into the recycling facility. It's a good deed and it's a financial matter at this point as well. Cost of hauling that away from the garbage stream will be increasing even more. But at the same time, the price of selling it is increasing. So it's a wise financial decision for the town as a taxpayer to throw your recyclable materials into the recycling center. With Christmas coming up, we know there will be an exorbitant amount of cardboard. I would love to see that going into the recycling facility. Within the town treasurer's department, there are a couple of tax acquired properties that are headed out for bid. We hope to have those back and on an agenda in January. We'll be shooting for the first agenda in January to take those up for consideration. We have been approved for the community credit card through Bangor Savings Bank. We have our limit and the cards are being mailed to us currently. Once we receive them, we'll go through each individual card holder. Process that according to our new credit card policy. That year-end reporting, preparations for tax reporting started for 2022. Wastewater is operating just as well as you could imagine. I thought it was a fun fact to mention that on average, the daily flow of our wastewater treatment facility is 1 million gallons of water being processed with a peak in the month of November at 1.6 million. That's a lot of water being processed by some great systems within our community, sought over by some really great employees. The RV dumping station has been shut down for the season, and that'll be reopened in May. That is the station that is located at the lot of the Katahdin Chamber of Commerce. It's a town-owned property, and some may not know that dump station proceeds go to the town of Milwaukee wastewater to help offset that. It has done really well in the past several years. Over at the airport, jet fuel sales are, as we went over just a couple of weeks ago in the budget review, jet fuel sales are outpacing our revenues in record highs. The sales remain steady, and we had to order another 3,000 gallons recently to keep up with the demand. So that part of the airport business is going tremendously well. We also did, Jeff and I and Amber, we did a virtual reality walkthrough of the new airport terminal design with Pat Santerre from Arcadia Design Works. And that was an incredible experience to see this building almost in real life, right? We had the goggles, we had the sensors around us, and we were able to walk through the building, go into the different rooms, go around the property even. It's a really exciting thing to be able to experience, but it's something that we may be able to offer on a bigger level moving forward. There'll be a lot more discussion on that in the next couple of months, but there are a handful of properties that the town owns throughout Millinocket that Pat has worked on and has a virtual reality version of. So we're getting creative and we're getting excited about how we could use that to our advantage. Maybe it's marketing materials or whatever that may be. So lots of great stuff happening. Things are pretty quiet in the assessing department. That's normal this time of year. Making preparations for the revaluation that will be happening in the spring. And anyone who is out on Medway Road would have received a piece of mail recently that was notifying them that their addresses will need to be changed in the next 60 days to realign with the 911 system for the addresses. This is something that has yet again just been neglected for decades. And it's at a point where we need to make this adjustment or people's lives are actually in danger at this point. So we hope that those people remain open-minded with us and understand the reasoning behind it. Certainly invite them to contact us at any time to discuss it. Skip over to Community Initiative Director. He actually represented the town of Millinocket at the annual Maine Climate Council meeting and did so very well. The next 3 bullet points in that are all acknowledgements of awards that have been received. 2 of them you'll see later in the agenda. So for those keeping score, this position was awarded $50,000 from the Maine Resiliency Partnership, $20,000 from the Stephen and Tabitha King Foundation. That one's going to be turnout gear for the Millinocket Fire Department. And most recently, $600 from Northern Penobscot Activities Council. And that goes into the kitty for the Skeeto project. All of that combined just about clears out the cost of having that position, salary and benefits. So for the remainder of FY23, anything that is received from that position is the cherry on top. It's icing on the cake. It's above and beyond the cost of that position. So at this point, we are proving that that's a worthwhile investment. We hope to continue to see some positive results there. She also has in here mention of the town of Millinocket's application to the Maine Service Fellow Program. So she was able to work with Jeff at the airport, myself, and Councilor Golead as well. We were able to get that application approved. So we will be getting the equivalent of a full-time employee out at going to be based at the airport. They'll be focusing on opportunities for economic development at our airport and around the grounds of the airport, as well as learning a bit about airport operations with Jefferson. It's a really exciting opportunity. And that's at very little cost. There's very, very small costs associated with that. With the town clerk and tax collector's office, for real estate taxes, we have received about $1.5 million. That leaves us with just shy of $2 million outstanding. And then with the personal property accounts, we have received a little over 500,000 with a little over 500,000. This Lakeman had sworn in our new planning board member, Megan Runyon. Was able to be present for that. Got some pictures. I'd like to begin celebrating those applicants and those positions a little more on our social media. to be able to get the word out, familiarize some faces, and hopefully encourage some more community members to apply to take part in those roles. She also deputized me as deputy treasurer. With the discussions of my annual performance review and things coming up, I had gone back and read through my contract. And in my contract, I was meant to be deputy treasurer as well. That was an oversight, but we were able to, make that correction, so officially deputized. Within the fire ambulance public health department, Tom's actually working with Deb Roundtree at Dun Higher Ed Center, BMCC, with some of her colleagues. EMS training needs in our area, how to develop more EMS training at the Kentucky Higher Education Center. The programs that have been offered there the past several years have really kind of put a shot in the arm of medical professionals in our area, which is wonderful. There's new nurses coming out of there. There's new CNAs coming out of there. There are EMS programs currently, and I think that what they're hoping to do is to continue to build upon that, to help infuse our local community with skilled and educated, very well trained medical professionals at little to no cost to them. They have received the new Stryker Power Pro cots that were identified in the FY23 budget. That's an exciting piece of new equipment. Currently have a couple of medics out with injuries, so a little bit short staffed, but I believe everybody is making up for the difference. Chief Malcolm went over our town's emergency operations plan recently with our team of department heads at a safety meeting. So it was great to have that review, especially knowing that we have quite a doozy of a storm projected for this weekend. So Tom and I had a short discussion this afternoon to make sure everything was prepared ahead of time, just in case we needed to open up the schools as a warming center or emergency space. So with the installation of the new generators at the school facilities the past year or so, that finally sets us up to have a very legitimate warming space should we need it. But those conversations have taken place at a time to make sure that if we do need it, then we're ready to get it. The normally go through police and library, but I'll hit a couple of highlights in here this evening. I'd like to congratulate Officer Carlson, recent graduate of the academy. He had started before attending and then just recently graduated and is coming back to work for the EMPD. So congratulations to him on that. That is not an easy thing to do. They've had some various equipment situations recently with the cars. Most of them are able to be resolved. They did have a very strong presence for the Milwaukee Marathon a couple of weeks ago. We're very pleased to have them here partnering with our own emergency services internally with the town. They were able to call Penobscot EMA, and they had some dogs here and some crowd surveillance and explosion tactics and various services that were here, so that they were able to make sure that our town was the safest to be. Appreciate that very much. They unfortunately mentioned that there have been a total of 5 drug overdose deaths in the Tri-Town area in the past few weeks. Continuing to discuss that openly and offer education to those who don't understand the size and legitimacy of that issue in our area. To continue to educate and continue to open minds to that. Can only be helpful. All those who have been affected by that recent. A couple of highlights from the Woonsocket Memorial Library. Their fundraising efforts have been going very well this year. It looks like they've been able to bring in about $18,000 so far, and about halfway through the year compared to 25,000. So I think they are picking up some pace there really well. For those that have not been able to pay as much attention to the programming that's going on at the library, they are always increasing and their programming and offering more. Most recently, they've had some life drawing educational opportunities with Mary McManus. There's a new yarn club. They've had some open enrollment with health insurance assistance offered Kennebec, Katahdin Valley Health Center, as well as planning for the upcoming programs, which will be focused on digital and financial literacy, continuously offering education on online banking and Zoom and various platforms to help educate folks in our community on how to use those. And for the financial literacy, they'll be partnering with Federal Credit Union to offer those programs. So lots of great things happening there. They were able to they were able to hire a full-time general manager for the Gear Library. That's partnership with the Outdoor Sports Institute. And it comes from the funding comes from a grant from Onion Foundation, total $30,000. That program is incredible, really. So it's great to have a dedicated general manager to be able to operate the facility and to continue to build that. They will be open for the winter season after the holidays, Thursday through Sunday, and they'll ski and snowshoe rentals, bits and pieces. I think that's enough out of me this evening. Happy to take any questions.
Thanks, Mr. Manager. To the council on the manager's report. Council Madore.
I'm gonna go to the back and work my way forward. And go right to the library. I think this is an important piece right here, that the library has gone ahead and been able to help navigate some of the influx of calls, primarily for heating oil, heating fuel assistance and food assistance in cold weather. With the grant funding they receive via the town and other sources, they've been able to address these issues, mostly the request. So that's a big one right now for the, thank you, for the town. That's the type of thing, when we talked about ways of using ARPA funds, when we talked about ways of using funding, certainly heating and food assistance in the cold weather months is certainly one of the big things. And I'm glad to see that the library is managing to navigate those waters and help as many people as possible to be able to do. And this is just the beginning of the season. Can you imagine later on in life, January, February, when the temperatures really start to plummet, snow starts to get around, and I hope they're able to continue to help people in the area with that. Now, moving to the front of it, of the manager's report, I was very encouraged to see that we're going to go ahead and have Public Works is gonna have both mounted snow blowers, prepared for winter. I think that people don't realize what a huge, help those, snow blowers are. And sometimes what a pain they are to actually take and have serviceable and ready to work. We have both of them ready for the season, so congratulations to Public Works crew getting that ready. I see the tree trimming is going on, and I also saw the shoulder work that went on along Rhode Island to create better drainage. I think that's the first time I've seen that happen in years that they worked on Rhode Island, and that's always been a bad spot where water has dammed up in there and ice. So good foresight to get that done while the warm weather was still there. So thank you for that. As far as the town wastewater operation, again, I see that this idea of things plugging the system again continues to be an ongoing issue. And I'm sorry for that. I wish people could to deal with it without having to go ahead and have to be constantly reminded. As far as the recycling is concerned, I think we need to be a little bit more. I think there needs to be more information out there, because what I found when I took cardboard out there was, yes, it is cardboard, but if it is cardboard that is colored or painted on or whatever, they cannot take it. That goes into the hopper, and I think that's confusing people. I think that message has to get out exactly as what type of cardboard we're recycling, especially with the holiday season rolling around. You know, Mr. Manager, yourself, you just said it. People are gonna start taking stuff out there, Christmas gifts or whatever. They're gonna have wrapping paper still attached to the boxes. That may make a situation where the crew may not be able to handle it because they can't do it with wrapping paper on it or whatever to recycle. I think we need to get a more defined description of what can and cannot be recycled and what it is that we need to have. I know for me, like I say, I took a bunch of stuff out there and they were very polite, very helpful, and everything else, saying we can take this, we can't take that, that's gonna have to go up in the hopper, or we will take this over here. And I think it has caused enough heartburn for some people that they've stopped trying to recycle. So I think if we could get the word out a little bit better on what can and cannot be done, I think that would make a big difference out there. I'm really excited about the fact that jet fuel sales are outpacing last year. I am so excited. I fought like crazy to get that jet fuel out of the airport, so we would buy the service, so we would have the ability to sell jet fuel out there. And I think it's going to start paying dividends. It's going to increase, and it's going to be I don't say a cash cow, but definitely a great revenue source for us moving forward. I think that recreation is doing a great job with kids this winter so far. Other than unfortunately the tragic reports of the police as far as the amount of overdose deaths in the community, I'm all set with mine. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Madore. Council Higgins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Manager and your department, I want to thank you for the report. Very well prepared. Just a couple of things going back on the drug-related deaths. It's very sad for the community. The only thing we need to get it out there too, that if you know something, say something. The question I got on the warming centers, how do we get that information out to the community? I know there were some people that were concerned last weekend when we had the power outage. There were some elderly people in the community that were getting cold.
That's a difficult thing to do. But we have many platforms to do that. And we would use our social media, we could use email. I understand these things use power. We would be, contacting the community members in any way that we can, from the radio to, Tom, are you able to speak more about that? I think we would be using whatever systems we have in partnership with the school and the communication system.
Tom Melvin, 73 School Street. We would do all our social.
Tom, that's not on.
about that? Tom Malcolm, 73 School Street. We would use all the social media platforms we have. We'd also use the school program that they have that goes out to individuals and talk with them. We have never done one. We've never got into that situation, but because of the last storm that we had, we were getting close. I was getting ready to pop the plug on it then. We didn't have to, and I'm hoping that there's a lot of hype on this one, and we don't have to, but we're more prepared. But that's, Councilor Higgins, that's gonna be a work in progress. I've never done it, so it's gonna be a learn as you go type of thing. I know that, and one other thing, if we do go that route, I have to let Penobscot County know, and they also get it out. News media and stuff.
Thank you, Chief Malcolm.
Thank you.
That is, thank you.
Council Brandon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize. I'm still sick, so I'm going to try to keep this short. First off, congratulations to Officer Carlson. That's a great achievement, and I'm super glad to have you back. I'm sure the rest of the department is being short one officer, so super happy to have you back. Just out of curiosity, what kind of what do we have at the dump that indicates that that cardboard is to be recycled there? Is there just a sign that says recycling open again, or is there like an A-frame sign up by the road that says please recycle cardboard here? What are we doing to advertise this at the dump?
Well, currently there are no really visible signs at the dump that I'm aware of. But that is something that I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago, to have some larger signs installed. In the meantime, we could have smaller ones just handmade by the crew to be present in those areas.
I agree. I think that's a great idea. On the topic of the airport, is the beacon fixed by this meeting, or is that something that's relatively new?
The beacon currently is not fixed.
It's still not fixed. Okay. Big shout out to Jeff. He's done great at the airport. The jet fuel sales, I think significantly well. Every time I talk to Jeff, he always tells me good news about the jet fuel sales. So kudos to Jeff. That's a great achievement, and I appreciate all the work you do. The town acquired property, I know we put it in the local paper. Are we going to be posting on Facebook like we did last time? I felt like that got out to a lot of people and there was pretty good response on that. Is that still the plan this time?
If it's not on there yet, it will be.
Okay. I don't have Facebook anymore, so I don't really check it, but for the sake of people that do have it, I feel like it's beneficial to them. For the sewage, I'm sorry?
I'll make sure that it gets.
For the sewage, has that improved at all? Or is it still kind of the same?
As far as I know, it is not improved.
Even after the reports were sent out with the tax bills?
Yes.
That's a shame. The second to last thing, I really like seeing Tom's report on the back with the ambulance reports. I really like that. It's good to know that. I really like it. So kudos to Tom for doing that. And last but not least, I heard a pretty upsetting story this weekend that I feel ashamed it has to be spoken about. But the plow truck drivers spend countless hours plowing our streets, staying up all night, trying to make it safe for all of us citizens and people visiting our town. I heard stories of people throwing shovels at the plow trucks, screaming insanities at the drivers. That's completely uncalled for. These people spend a lot of time and a lot of effort to make sure our roads are clean. And I think it's kind of ridiculous that it needs to be said, but these guys should be treated with the utmost respect. Personally, I think that's insane, and I appreciate all the work you guys do, and I want you to know that. Again, I think it's very upsetting to say that should never happen, but it has to be said. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you to all you do and for all the hard work you have. I know this weekend's probably going to be just as difficult as the last storm, but just so you know, you are appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Brandon. Any other council comment on the manager's report? Council Goalie?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a thank you to all the department heads, the manager for putting this together. It's really nice to see a lot of the things that we've planned on as a council a year or two ago in terms of creating this community initiatives director position and seeing how successful that's become. Just a big thank you to Amber for all of her hard work, but also to Peter for finding her essentially and getting the right person in that place and doing a great job managing that as well. It's really good to see that position is not only paying for itself now with all the grants that have come in just in the first year, but all the different programs and initiatives that we've had actually being well run, well managed. Someone really on top of all of that. So it's really nice to see that it's come together very well. And same thing for the airport and all the other things that we've clearly invested community resources and our time and energy into. Just a quick congratulations to the officer that will now be serving our communities after graduating the academy. And everyone stay safe tomorrow. Thank you.
Council Goalie. Any other council comment? I just wanted to touch base. That's the first I heard of it too, Council Brandon. I hadn't heard that story yet, so I do apologize, Brian, for you and your crew. That's all I knew. First, it's brought to my attention, and I hope the townspeople will treat the public works people much better and correctly with respect to their jobs. So congratulations to the CID for being successful, and I echo all of the sentiments that my fellow councilors have said. With that, I will go down to the public on the manager's report. Please step to the mic, your name and your address, please.
On? Yep. Oh, okay. Scott Levitt, 330 Commerce Street. I was just thinking, and I don't know if Tom can do it or not, but we're trying to alarm the community about it. Is there a way that we could put a code in with the horn, like the school with 666, and have it that way mostly everybody can hear that horn, but it's just a suggestion. Thank you.
I think it's a wonderful suggestion. Who would ever think it?
Can you answer to that, Tom?
Can we do that?
It was part of our code of what we're done.
Yes, we can come up with a code. I mean, it's not for this weekend.
Right.
But yes, we have a high water code. We have numerous codes we can put in. Where we control that horn now, we can put whatever we want for a code in. So I will take that suggestion back and we'll get one put together for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Just
Any other-
Thank you, Mr. Levin, for that idea. That
Any
would be
other
really
public
good.
comment?
Hi, Sandy Sullivan, 104 Sunset Drive. Sometimes you have to spend a little money to make a little money. And I do agree, Amber is a great find.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Any other public comment?
I'd just like to offer up Cat TV to get some of your messaging out for the recycling, for the problem with what's being flushed. You send it to us, we'll put slides up. Some people will see it. It might be another avenue for you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. I see Leah Malcolm with her hand up on.
Oh, that's my cursor. The hands on Zoomer, yeah.
I've been called out now, Leah, you have to speak. Just kidding. I have to mess up one time a meeting. Okay, anybody else from the public?
If I may.
Seeing none on Zoom, yes, Mick Lakeman.
Thank you, Chair Dumay. I just wanted to bring attention to the ad that I have for the Personnel Appeals Board, that there is 2 full seats that will become available by the end of this month. One of them I am for certain that will not be reappointed. The other one I have not heard back from. That is a board that doesn't meet often, thankfully. However, it is a very important board to have full when it is needed. Also, the Recreation Advisory Committee and Cemetery Committee is still looking for 1 full seat. I do want to address one more thing, and that is on the library report. Our office too, personally, the past few weeks, just today as well, have navigated numerous phone calls of people in need for service, whether it be fuel, food, even gifts for their family, and taking just information because that's all we had at the time to find out where to send them. They had already spoken with, I believe, Mobilize Catan and also Pink was Cap, and they were informed to call the town. So I just hope that those programs are easy for the community that only have a phone and are able to go online and fill out the applications that are available. I did inquire for Tom to follow up on some of the phone call that we took. So I just wanted to draw attention to the phone calls also come into the town for these needs, and we do try to send them where they need to go if they haven't already. So just putting that out there that the community can contact the library, as they do have that $50,000 to work with for fuel assistance for our community. Thank you.
Thank you for those reminders, Diana.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Oh, I've been moving my mic. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just in response to Diana, Mobilize Catan, they do have a resource navigator and they're looking to hire another one. And part of that person's role is to help folks fill out applications as needed. So we're really trying to expand that role and meet that need in the community. And I know there has been a working relationship developed between the town and the library. There's somebody new, the previous resource navigator had moved away. They've Laura Potts is the new one, and she's doing excellent. And I think you saw it in here in the report that they have applications out and have a bunch of application people that they're interviewing to join the crew there, and they look for volunteers as well. So we recognize that. I help out on the board there as well. And we're trying to expand that service and meet the needs of our community.
Do you know if they take those applications over the phone for the people that don't have a ride or have?
So are you talking about through Penguins or just mobile?
Mobilize Catan.
So they do, I don't want to misinform, so yeah, like.
And I wasn't sure either, so I just
A
wanted
lot
that
of,
out
yeah,
there.
a lot of it is over the phone. You don't have to go in person. A lot has changed and is over the phone and is for Penguins too. And while I'm speaking, I'm going to continue just a little bit, just the discussion about the warming centers and how to get people out, get people informed that perhaps that emergency shelter at the school, at the high school, because that's our designated for the area for the town. It's been discussed at our age-friendly committee at different times, and we've talked about we need a strategy. We need to let people know in the community. And so it's, I guess it's good that we haven't had to deploy that or use that in the past, but at the same time, you know, it's not good. We don't have a system set in place, and we need to work on that. So it was really excited is not the word, but hopeful. I'm glad to hear that this conversation is happening, because we know the weather's changing, you know, the power's out a lot more, and we know about the, you know, the older folks in our community living alone and that are going to be cold, and you know, we're concerned. So we want to make sure that we can react and respond, be proactive. So whether it's the horn goes off, and so the horn goes off, and that means there's the high school is open as a warming center. that's one piece of the puzzle. We got to figure out how to get people to the warming center. So it's going to take a huge community effort and talking to all our, volunteer organizations and other folks to really figure out what this network of support is going to be to make this happen. So a plan, I'm excited that there's a plan and there's talk about it. And so I want to be part of that team, and it has been talked about that there's a need. So thank you, Chief Malcolm. That's a huge job, but just know you're supported and other people recognize the need. And we're going to get it done. Thank you.
Start down in the public, if anybody would like to add on the manager's report. If not, saying that, I'll come back to the council briefly. I think that Jane, I think an important part is to everybody really be a good neighbor. You know your neighborhood's better than anybody else. If you know that there's elderly or disabled or young that really need a helping hand, it really says a lot to be a good neighbor. And I think that's the first step in strategy. So with that being said, I'm ready to move on.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
if I could ask our town clerk. Our appeals board is a 3-member board,
Which board, I'm sorry?
the Board of Appeals,
Correct.
and there's 2 seats open on a 3-member board.
There'll be 2 seats available by the end of this month, which is,
I think that speaks a lot for the need for volunteerism. People getting involved, people getting interested in serving the community in different ways. It doesn't always have to be up on a dais like this, or at some of the other more visible areas within the community. But certainly, there's nothing any more valuable than if you have a Board of Appeals and you have a 3-member board and you are missing 2 members, it's kind of dysfunctional. And that doesn't bode well for the town to be able, in case anything happens, to have something happen. So please, if you're out there and you are ever thought or get interested in trying to be a little bit more involved in the community, certainly that would be a great place to start, along with some of the other committees we have. And with that, I say thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Dora.
for clarification, that is the Personnel Appeals Board. Okay.
Yep.
And that board, last time it needed to meet, had to fulfill 2 of the seats as well. So it is an important board to have full, correct?
Thank you, Councilor Dora. Thank you, Diana. We'll move on from the manager's report. Going to order number 314, 2022, the approval of the town warrant. Council Goldie, will you read that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Order number 314, 2022, providing for execution of the town warrant for December 22nd, 2022. It is ordered that the town warrant for December 22nd, 2022 in the amount of $399,977.14 is hereby approved.
Second.
Motion by Council Goldie, seconded by Council Maduro. Let's have some council discussion. Council Goldie.
Yes, there are some heavy hitters. Versant Power, $6,123. $10,000 for Kevin Boynton. $17,100 for D&D paving. $7,193 for Dead River. $6,000 for Katahdin area television. $34,000. $34,103 for Maine Water Company. $25,000 for the Millinock Memorial Library. $9,085 for Review Committee. $5,922 for New England Salt Company. $2,500 for Preble Oil. $175,049 for Town of East Millinocket, which I'm assuming is our police contract. $5,000 to Trident Insurance. $14,063 for Ascent Aviation Group. $10,000. Oh, that's just repeating there, and that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Council Goldie. We have a council discussion on order number 315. Seeing none down to the public. Back to the council. Roll call vote on order number 315. 14, sorry, I have my finger on the wrong. Council Goldie.
Aye.
Council Higgins.
Aye.
Council Danforth,
Aye.
Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Madore,
Aye.
Council Pelletier.
Aye.
Chair Dumay is a aye, and that's 7-0. Council Gottlieb, will you again please read order number 315-2022?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, order number 315-2022, providing for execution of the wastewater warrant for December 22nd, 2022. It is ordered that the wastewater warrant for December 22nd, 2022 in the amount of $14,427.85 is hereby approved.
Second.
Motion made by Council Gottlieb, seconded by Council Madore. Any council discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, D&D paving, $7,400. Main Water Company, $3,380. And $1,596 for Register of Deeds.
Thank you, Council Gottlieb. The other council discussion? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, back to the council. Can I have a roll call vote, please? Council Gottlieb,
Aye.
Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Higgins,
Aye.
Council Danforth,
Aye.
Council Pelletier,
Aye.
Council Madore,
Aye.
Chair Dumay, it is 7-0 vote. Order number 316-2022, Council Bragdon, please read.
Order number 316-2022, providing for approval for an application for an entertainment license for Elks Lodge number 1521. It is ordered that the attached application for an entertainment license is hereby approved for Elks Lodge number 1521, 213 Aroostook Avenue, Millinocket, doing business as Elks Lodge number 1521, 213 Aroostook Avenue, Millinocket.
Second.
Motion made by Council Bragdon, seconded by Council Madore. Council Bragdon, can you please read to the order?
Really don't have anything to say.
Council discussion? Seeing none, down in public. Seeing none in public, back to the council. May I have a roll call vote, please? Councilor Gottlieb,
Aye.
Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Higgins,
Aye.
Councilor Danforth,
Aye.
Councilor Madore,
Aye.
Council Pelletier,
Aye.
Chair Dumay is an aye, 7-0. Order number 317-2022, Council Danforth, will you please read?
Order number 317-2022, providing for approval for an application for a malt, vinous and spirituous liquor license for Elks Lodge number 1521. It is ordered that the attached application for malt, vinous and spirituous liquor license is hereby approved for Elks Lodge number 1521, 213 Aroostook Avenue, doing business as Elks Lodge number 1521, 213 Aroostook Avenue.
Second.
Motion made by Council Danforth, seconded again by Council Madore. Any council discussion? Down to the public. Seeing none, back to the council. Let's go to a roll call vote. Council Gottlieb,
Aye.
Council Higgins,
Aye.
Council Danforth,
Aye.
Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Pelletier,
Aye.
Council Madore.
Aye.
Chair Dumay is a 7-0 vote. It's not. And order number 318-2022, Council Higgins, would you please read?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Order 318-2022, providing for approval for an application for an entertainment license for Scooter Inn and Restaurant. It is ordered that the attached application for the entertainment license hereby approved for Scooter Inn Restaurant, 70 Penobscot Ave, Millinocket, doing business as Scooter Inn Restaurant, 70 Penobscot Avenue, Millinocket.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Higgins, seconded by Councilor Danforth. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, back to the council. I'd like to go to a roll call vote, please. Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Gottlieb,
Aye.
Council Danforth,
Aye.
Council Higgins.
Aye.
Council Pelletier.
Aye.
Council Madore.
Aye.
Chair Dumais is an aye, 7-0. Order number 319-2022. With Council Pelletier, please read.
Order number 319-2022, providing for approval of an application for a malt and North Finest or spirituous liquor license for Elks Lodge on D21. It is ordered that the attached application for a malt wine and spirituous liquor license hereby approved for Spooning in Restaurant, 70 Oxford Ave, Hill Rocket. This is Spooning in Restaurant, 70 Oxford Ave.
Second.
Motion made by,
I believe the heading should be amended to be the Spooning in versus Elks Lodge.
Yes.
Yes.
is that just a clerical error, or do we need to do something about that? Thank you very much. All right, motion made by Council Pelletier, seconded by Council Madore. Any council discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Council Madore?
if in the future we could finally get a, can we just call this a liquor license? I've never seen people, and myself included, that have had such a hard time with a malt, vinous, and spirituous liquor license.
Vinous and spirituous, that's all it is, vinous and spirituous.
Yes, just liquor license would be fine. You know, because it's actually what it is.
Liquor is not Venus, so.
It's all wine, wine.
All right.
Let's go. To the order. Any other discussion on the order from the council?
Here.
Seeing none, down to the public. Back to the council, roll call vote, please. Council Bragdon.
Aye.
Council Goldie.
Aye.
Council Higgins.
Aye.
Council Danforth.
Aye.
Council Madore.
Aye.
Council Pelletier. Chair Dumais is 7-0. Order number 320-2022, Council Madore, would you please read?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Order 320-2022, providing for the Northern Penobscot Activities Council grant acceptance. It is ordered the Millinocket Town Council accept $600 grant from the Northern Penobscot Activities Council, which can be used for a new rope tow project.
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Council Madore, seconded by Council Danforth. Council discussion. Seeing none, back to the public. Seeing no discussion, back to the council. And we'll go to a roll call vote. Council Goldie.
Aye.
Council Bragdon.
Aye.
Council Higgins.
Aye.
Council Danforth.
Aye.
Council Madore.
Aye.
Council Pelletier.
Aye.
Chair Dumais, 7-0. All right, order number 321-2022. Council Danforth, would you please read?
Order number 321-2022, providing for the Stephen and Tabitha King Foundation grant acceptance. It is ordered that the Millinocket Town Council accepts the $20,000 grant from the Stephen and Tabitha King Foundation, which can be used to purchase turnout gear for the fire department.
Second.
Motion made by Council Danforth, seconded by Council Madore. Council discussion on the order. Council Danforth.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just wondering if we could hear from Fire Chief Malcolm. Can you just explain what that is? What is turnout gear? And how many pieces of turnout gear will that get you? Thank you.
Tom Malcolm, Fire Chief, 73 School Street. That will get us probably, in my rough figuring today, I was working on this, probably 8 sets. That's complete helmet to boots. Jacket, pants, gloves, suspenders, hood, helmet, and boots. Is a complete set. We've tried 2 or 3 different grants. This is the first one that we actually got on it so far. We've been replacing 1 set a year through MMA, and that doesn't really work. By the time it's time to start over again. So this will give us 8 sets Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Any other council comment? Down to the public?
Question, Sandy Sullivan, and how many do you need? Four. Are there 8? Will all 8 be used, or will there be some left? Okay. But you could use more.
What was the answer to that question?
The question was, how many would you need? Am I correct?
Right, that was the question. How many sets would we actually need? What we've been trying to get was 20 sets. But Amber and I had talked with the King Foundation and found that if we put $1 grand in to that kind of money, we're pretty much guaranteed to get it. And of all the grants I've ever seen before, I never got the check in the mail before we even. Not, you know, they just sent me the check and said, go get your gear.
Well, I think there's a little bit, I mean, from the letter or the email that they sent, there was some accountability to it as well. You have to really. You have to report it back to them. Yeah. All right, so we're down to the council, down to the public, back to the council. Seeing none, I'd like to have a roll call vote on this order. Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Golley,
Aye.
Council Madore,
Aye.
Council Pelletier. Aye. Council Danforth,
Aye.
Council Higgins,
Aye.
Chair Dumay, it's a 7-0 vote. Order number 322-2022, Council Bragdon, would you please read?
Order number 3322-2022, providing for acceptance of quote for municipal building roof repairs. Whereas the front canopy on the municipal building and the roof on the elevator entrance are in dire need of repairs. And whereas after 6 months of outreach and attempts with various contractors, the building custodian and town manager have received the attached quote from Hanelbros Corporation to repair both roofs in the spring of 2023. It is ordered that the Millinocket Town Council grant authority to the town manager to accept the attached quote for roof repairs. And it is further ordered the Millinocket Town Council grants permission to the town treasurer transfer plan according for $9,275 of local American Rescue Plan Act to be used at the time the work is done, leaving a remaining ARPA fund balance of $206,271.00.
Second.
Motion made by Council Bragdon, seconded by Council Madore. Council discussion on the order. Seeing none, public discussion. Seeing none from the public, back to the council. Could I have a roll call vote on the order, please? Council Golley,
Aye.
Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Danforth,
Aye.
Council Higgins. Council Pelletier.
Aye.
Council Madore.
Aye.
Chair Dumay, it's an aye, it's a 7-0 vote. Order number 323-2022, Council Pelletier, would you please read?
Order number 323-2022. Providing for authorization for memorandum of understanding between Teamsters Local Union number 340 and Town of Millinocket. Whereas the contract the Town of Millinocket Public Works employees has negotiated with Teamsters Union number 340 was ratified for a 2-year period of July 1st, 2021 to July 1st, 2024. And whereas Teamsters Local Union number 340 in the Town of Millinocket have agreed to adjust the mechanic pay Exhibit A of the collective bargaining agreement. It is ordered that the town manager is authorized to sign the attached agreement, and it is further ordered that a copy of the agreement is attached and the adjustment reflected in Exhibit A made a permanent part of the town's records. No permanent agreement will be attached to this order once signed by both parties.
Second.
Motion made by Council Pelletier, seconded by Council Madore. Council discussion on the order. Council Madore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to go ahead and first off, thank both sides of the negotiation for getting this point. I think it's very important. I also think it shows a great deal of cooperation between the town and the union. I'd like to thank the manager for getting this done in a timely fashion. And I agree that the mechanics salary should be adjusted so that we can get as hopefully as good a mechanic coming in as we had that is now our public works director. So certainly, again, thank you, Mr. Manager, for your job that you've done. And thank you to Local 340 for again putting the interests of not only just the union, but the town itself to heart. So thank you both. That's all from me, Mr. Manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Madore. Any other council comment? Seeing none.
I'm not a counselor.
Go ahead, Mr. Manager.
Thank you. I don't feel comfortable taking full credit for that. Our public works director, Brian, put in an awful lot of work in comparison of other communities and you know, coming up with the initial draft of the new pay increase for that scale. So, you know, I think that there were a few people that played a pretty big role with that, but it's just to facilitate it.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Down to the public for comment. Seeing none, back to the council. And I'd like to have a roll call vote on the order, please. Council Golley,
Aye.
Council Bragdon,
Aye.
Council Higgins,
Aye.
Council Danforth,
Aye.
Council Madore,
Aye.
Council Pelletier,
Aye.
Chair Dumay is a 7-0 vote. Boards of Communications. Warrant Committee for January 12th, 2023 council meeting will be Councilor Higgins and Councilor Madore.
All set.
And can I have chair committee's reports, please? Council Pelletier.
Yes, on the Charter Review Committee, we held a meeting on 12/21 and failed to reach a quorum. There was no public participation whatsoever on Zoom. And given such, two of the public members, one has resigned and one has never responded. You know, showing up. And the lack of public interest, we're going to cease the review and turn we've done so far to manager to review the legal, find out if it's possible to head with those changes.
You're requesting to the Charter Review Committee to be removed?
Deceased, if you will.
Cease.
You know, we've been the last 2 or 3 months requesting the public to join the committee and or just attend, and just no interest sign. Apparently the public interest back when we went through the turmoil of replacing the manager and whatever's gone on subsided, and sure not an issue anymore.
I'll get with the manager between now and the next town council meeting. We'll have a decision on that.
Yeah, he has a copy of what we've done so far to review.
Thank you. Any other committee reports?
Mr. Chairman. Councilor Goldie.
Yeah. Council Golley?
Yeah, thank
Former councilor. There we go.
Thank you. So the Economic Development and Sustainability Committee had to be canceled. There were a number of sicknesses, myself included. So we're going to be rescheduling that in the near future. So I'll send out a doodle poll to those in the committee to fill out in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Golley. Chief Malcolm, would you like to speak to the events committee, please?
Tom Malcolm, 73 School Street. The events committee met on the 16th, last Friday. The events committee had been having some struggles recently and trying to think of ways to kind of pull things together. I talked with the town manager and Amber, the CID director, about an idea. He got full support from both of them. Talked to Chairman Goley, Chairman Dumay. And then on Friday, when we met, I brought the idea forward. What we'd like to do with the events committee, we'd like to fold the events committee into CID. The under the CID umbrella, more or less, for various reasons. When I was thinking about it, funding, knowing what's going on, getting stuff out to the media quicker, a lot of those things just made more sense. And and when I was talking to the manager about it, he came up with a lot of those same things, that this would be, a way to do it. So we voted to do that. So that will be our next, we'll be rolling down that, starting, our next meeting will be January 31st. Just for a couple of highlights, we did movie night on Tuesday night. Santa Claus came and we did the Grinch, and had a great turnout. We had about 60 people there, about 40 kids. We provided snacks. Everybody was very happy. We're doing another one on the 31st for older kids. I've already heard some good reviews on that. Kids want to come to, so I think that's going to be well taken too. We've talked to some other groups. We're gonna try to pull more groups in together. The Alumni Association has already contacted us about 2025 being a reunion year, and also 2026 would be Millinocket's 125th anniversary. So maybe we could try to roll those together. But there's a lot of good things going on with the events committee, and but the biggest one is I just want you all to know that change had been made, and see where it goes from there. Any questions?
I just have a comment, and I want to first and foremost thank Council Bragdon for his work on the events committee for the past year. I think a lot of the things that were put into motion were also he was involved in. So I would like to thank him and for being a part of that. I also attended the movie night with a child in my house, and me and my wife went, and it was very well attended. I thought I seen the manager there with his family, and I seen a lot of, the encouraging thing was I seen a lot of families. There was also a lot of singles and teens going and stuff like that, but it was really encouraging to see the turnout of families come. Because when I envisioned this, and when we talked about this, I like to see the families that can't go out to Bangor, or can't go afford a $20, $30 movie or whatever. It was good to see families get together. The town provided some snacks and some drinks for them. Tom was gracious enough to flip the bill, and I ran to Lincoln and we bought up a lot of Walmart product. But you know what? To me, it was really successful, and it was kind of on the fly a little bit. How are we gonna do that? Because we didn't want to see any children go without. Some families can afford snacks and some families can't, and that's not the child's fault. So I thought we really pulled it together well. The next one is on the 31st at 6 o'clock again, and I'll let the manager speak. The movie's Uncharted, right?
Yes.
It's
That
Uncharted.
is the title of the movie.
So I plan on attending that one as well. And although we geared these for a younger crowd and then one for an older crowd, I seen just as many older teenagers go just to get out of the house too. So I mean, really take advantage of these things. The bigger that they get, the more successful they're going to get. It was just really encouraging seeing people come out, and it was well attended. Everybody pretty much behaved. And I see some people bringing blankets, and I mean, we had seats provided, but people brought blankets and pajamas and pillows, and they were kind of just hanging out. That was kind of cool too. So, yeah. So thank you very much for everybody that's involved on the events committee going forward. Thank you, Council Bragdon, for all you have done. Much appreciated. And that's all I have to add on the events committee. Any other counselors or anything to add on the event committee?
Thank you, sir.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to speak for a moment about this idea of folding events into community initiatives. It's not entirely an original idea to Millinocket, but our neighbors nearby in the town of Lincoln have had that within a position in their town for several years now, where this person focused on communications, focused on community events, organizing things with a team similar to the events committee, but really kind of drove from an administrative level. And then, you know, the difference obviously for our town is that Amber is still very focused on grant funding. So it'll be more of a triple threat. So she will be working more closely on the events. She will continue to work on grant funding. And then the communication side is in partnership. She's kind of the inside, the insider info for Design Lab. And they work hand in hand on our communications. So I think that really rounds out the position. And I have high hopes.
Certainly, this is a good team effort between Chief and Amber and myself and the rest of the people that remain on the committee, and she's certainly an asset. So thank you for that. Any other chair committees? Reports? No. All right, 2-minute public comment. Being none. Oh, Chief Malcolm.
Just to follow up on what Diana had spoken on earlier. If anybody out there needs assistance or needs fuel or needs help, don't hesitate to call the town office or call the fire station, and we'll see what we can do to make it happen. The girls got that call today, and we were able to make things happen. We have a very good relationship with Mobilized Battalions. If I find somebody who needs fuel, I order the fuel and give them the name, and the bill goes to them, and they take care of it out of the money that you graciously put there for Millinocket residents. So I just want to make sure everybody realizes we are there. We'll do whatever we can do to help.
Thank you, Chief Malcolm. Any other public comment? Council Bragdon, thank you.
Well, I will yield to Sandy.
No, I just want to say for the final council meeting of the year, thank you to the town manager and to all the councilors for all you do for the town. The town needs all of it. Thanks.
Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that. Council Bragdon?
Top that.
So I just want to say kind of the same thing. I want to wish everyone a very, very happy holidays and a happy new year. And please stay safe this weekend. It is supposed to be extremely bad. And as some people have said, please reach out if you need help. There are people available to help you. So please stay safe and have a great new year.
And with that, that was gonna be my last note. And I think I speak for the council when I say this. I'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you all next year.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Motion by Council Pelletier, seconded by Council Madore. Can I have a roll call vote, please? Council Gold.
Aye.
Council Higgins.
Aye.
Council Madore.
Aye.
Council Danforth.
Aye.
Council Bragdon.
Nay.
Council Pelletier.
Aye, I'm sitting.
And to make it 5-2, I'm saying nay as well. Passes 5-2.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.